Mr. President, Saturday will mark 100 days of the 119th Congress and the Republican majority here in the Senate. And it's been a very productive 100 days. We've had 14 weeks of the new Congress, and the Senate's been in session and voting for 13 of those 14 weeks. We had the longest continuous in-session work period in 15 years, 10 weeks. And yesterday, we took our 200th vote. That's more votes at this point in a new Congress since at least the Reagan era.
Hey everyone, what has the Senate actually done in the first 100 days of the new Congress? According to Senate Republican leader John Thune, it's been one of the most productive starts in recent history. From key confirmations to border bills and bold budget moves, there's a lot happening behind those DC doors. In today's video, I'm breaking down the top accomplishments Senate Republicans are touting as they mark their first 100.
What do we have to show for it? Well, Mr. President, we've confirmed the President's cabinet at the fastest pace in more than 20 years. And as of this week, we have more than 50 total confirmations. Confirming nominees is a big focus of any new Congress with a newly elected president. And we're building out the President's administration at a brisk pace. But that's far from the only thing we've done. We passed Senator Britt's Laken-Riley Act, the first bipartisan border bill since 2006, which the President signed into law on January the 29th. This legislation, which incorporated amendments by Senators Cornyn, Ernst, and Budd, ensures that illegal immigrants who steal, assault a law enforcement officer, or kill or seriously injure another person are detained instead of being allowed back on the street.
Touting as they mark their first 100 days in charge. Let's get into it. In just 14 weeks, the Senate has been in session for 13 of them, making it the longest continuous work stretch in over 15 years. By week 13, they had already taken over 200 votes. That's more than any new Congress since Reagan. Why the rush? Because this new Congress is aiming to build out a government fast and with intention. Confirming a president's team is always step one. And this time, it's happening at record speed. Senate Republicans helped confirm over 50 nominees, including the entire cabinet faster than at any time in the last 20 years. Building a functional...
We also passed Senator Grassley and Senator Cassidy's Halt Fentanyl Act by an even stronger bipartisan margin to provide law enforcement with critical tools to combat this deadly disease. And we considered other important bills. Senator Tuberville's legislation to protect women's sports, Senator Banks and Senator Langford's legislation to protect babies born alive after botched abortions, Senator Cotton's ICC sanctions bill, that all of those were unfortunately filibustered by our Democrat colleagues. And that's not all. We've also passed 6 Congressional Review Act resolutions and plan to pass a 7th today to repeal burdensome Biden administration regulations, thanks to the efforts of, among others, Senators Hoeven, Cruz, Kennedy, Ricketts, and Tim Scott. And finally, Mr. President, we've considered not one but 2 budget resolutions to provide the framework for a permanent extension of the 2017 tax relief and a transformational investment in our border, energy, and national security.
Years. Building a functional administration? Check. Let's talk legislation. First up, the Lincoln and Riley Act, the first bipartisan border bill since 2006. It ensures that illegal immigrants who assault officers or cause serious harm aren't released back onto the streets. Then there's the Halt Fentanyl Act, a powerful bipartisan move giving law enforcement new tools to combat the opioid crisis. Other proposed bills, like those protecting women's sports and strengthening pro-life protections, were introduced but blocked by Democrats in the Senate. Still, Republicans are pushing forward. In their mission to unwind Biden-era regulations, Republicans passed 6 Congressional Review Act resolutions, with a 7th on the way.
I'm proud of the role the Senate's 2 resolutions have played in advancing negotiations as we head toward a final bill. Mr. President, as I've said before, my philosophy of leadership comes from my dad. He was a basketball coach at our high school, and he had some very strong opinions about the right way to play. Sports to him was not about personal glory, it was about elevating the team. That's an attitude I've tried to bring to every leadership position I've held. And when Republican senators trusted me with the role of majority leader last November, I promised to empower my colleagues and to open up the Senate. And I'm proud that we've been making progress toward that goal. We've honored the commitment to return to regular order and have brought multiple bills to the floor via the committee process where members of both parties have a chance to amend and improve legislation. We've created additional opportunities for members to draw attention to their priorities and manage their bills on the floor. And we've done substantial work to cut down vote times to make the process more efficient and free members up for the other work that they have to do.
Solutions, with a seventh on the way. They're also pushing for a permanent extension of the 2017 tax cuts and a major budget resolution that promises investments in border, energy, and national security. Before we dive into what's next, if you want real-time political breakdowns without the bias, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss out. So what's coming up? More confirmations, more regulation rollbacks, and a comprehensive tax and security bill are all in the pipeline. Appropriation season is about to kick off, and the GOP says it'll be done the old-fashioned way, bill by bill.
I've also been working to ensure that the lines of communication are open at all levels, at the member level, at the staff level, between the House and the Senate, and between the Senate and the White House. I regularly chat with the President, with Speaker Johnson, so that we can ensure that House, Senate, and White House are all on the same page and doing everything we can to advance our shared goals. Mr. President, when we return from Easter, we will continue to have a packed agenda. More nominations to confirm, more burdensome Biden regulations to repeal, a tax bill, and border, energy, and national security bill to continue drafting. Committees are currently working on legislation that will come to the floor in the coming weeks and months. And of course, appropriation season is almost upon us. And I remain committed to considering as many appropriations bills as possible under regular order. When the Appropriations Committee reports a bill, I intend to bring that bill to the floor for debate. Mr. President, that will require cooperation from Democrats. But I truly hope, that my Democrat colleagues will recognize that the right way to fund the government is to bring individual appropriation bills through the committee process and then consider them on the Senate floor. Mr. President, it's been a busy 100 days in the United States Senate, and I'm looking forward to many more.
Bill by bill, through regular order. The message from John Thune: this isn't about headlines, it's about results. Whether you support their agenda or not, one thing's clear. The Senate GOP came out swinging in the first 100 days. Drop a comment below. What do you think is the most impactful move they've made so far? And don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful.